So hi everyone. I'm just adjusting my camera, so I don't have any idea what I'm doing here. So hello again. So my last video was like 3 weeks ago, around just under 3 weeks ago, and I had just had my blepharoplasty surgery about 4 days before. So my under eyes look sort of really red, you know, it looked like 2 servings of salami under my eyes. So now, as you can see, the redness has kind of gone down a lot, and the bruising's gone down a lot. There's still kind of some kind of bruising there, and dark, you know, tiny dark circles, but it's better than it was. So yeah. And it feels a lot less sore. My eyes are a lot less bloodshot as well. They still haven't gone back to their normal size or shape, so I'm just waiting for that now. 6 weeks is the recovery period, but I mean, I'm on just coming up to the end of week 3 at the moment, so yeah, so it's just halfway through. I mean, tomorrow will be 3 weeks since I had my surgery, since I had my blepharoplasty. So yeah, I'm really happy with the results. I mean, there are lots of other things I like to change as well, you know. I mean, the next big surgery I'm going to have, hopefully early next year, or next year sometime, is going to be my jaw realignment. And that's part of my orthodontic surgery. So yeah, very happy. What I found quite difficult was kind of sleeping upright, or sleeping with lots of pillows behind me, because like in the first 2 weeks after surgery, they recommend that you sleep upright to avoid, I think, like blood flow or something going to your head, whatever, or that kind of thing. So I kind of had been sleeping upright, or sort of sleeping with pillows propped up behind me anyway. But do you know what? I found it difficult at first, but now I got so used to it that I want to continue sleeping like that. So it was quite interesting. But yeah, because normally I sleep flat. You know, I've always kind of slept flat, and usually on my side, curled up in the fetal position for whatever reason. That says about me. But yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so but so I'm still working from home until the week after next, and then I start returning to the office then. So that kind of worries me a bit, because I have to get 2 buses and a train to get to the office. So that's worrying me, really, not actually being in the office. There's all sorts of new rules that are in place, you know, to obviously health and safety rules to kind of minimise the COVID risk. But I mean, it is still around, COVID. I mean, it's still right to be cautious. And I mean, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've been quite depressed today and anxious for a number of reasons. I won't go into them. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of worried about going back out again into society, but I've also been depressed because I felt really isolated, and you know, and like I won't elaborate at this stage anyway why I felt really upset and anxious and worried. A lot of it's got to do with well, an ongoing issue that I don't really want to talk about at the moment, so yeah. But I will. I plan to cover it in a future video, this ongoing issue. So yeah, so I actually had my first Zoom counselling session with a counsellor last sort of on Wednesday afternoon, and that was really helpful. You know, the counsellor was really good. She was brilliant. And yeah, that's I think that's really going to help. How I'm going to continue them when I'm back in the office, I don't know, because obviously I need a private space to be able to talk about my problems and the issues that are affecting me. So yeah, so I didn't really want to say anything else, really. No, maybe I'll touch on what's been happening in the news about the fact that in Boris Johnson's Cabinet reshuffle, everybody seems to have appointed to a position of power is a transphobe, among other things as well. They're quite bigoted individuals, some of them. I mean, like he appointed, like first of all, the most glaring kind of thing that's most glaring about the new appointments is the fact that he's appointed another equalities minister who doesn't believe in equality, who was caught apparently saying that she didn't believe in gay marriage and she didn't believe in, she called trans women men, or she inferred that trans women were men and had no places in kind of women's toilets, etc., you know. And then, but I mean, the equality minister before her anyway was Liz Truss, who is a massive TERF as well. So yeah, so you've got Kemi Badenoch as the new equalities minister, who's also a massive TERF, you know, who was caught saying those things. There's Dominic Raab, his foreign secretary, he's a TERF. There's who else? Nadine Dorries, his culture secretary, she's a TERF and also a massive hypocrite. She attacked Muslim women for wearing headscarves, you know, saying that, you know, she's claiming that the Muslim religion always forces women to wear headscarves when, and you know, in a lot of cases that's not true, you know. I mean, obviously, like where that is true, that's wrong, but like in a lot of cases Muslim women choose to wear a hijab or a niqab. I'm sorry, I'm not that knowledgeable about the Muslim religion, but I know they get demonized a lot, like as trans folk. So I mean, and some Muslim people are trans as well, and LGBT, and yeah, I mean, it's like so hypocritical because Nadine Dorries sort of like attacked, so that all women shouldn't be forced to wear headscarves and everything, but then at the same time she was championing the right of employers to force women to wear high heels to work, because there was a TUC motion which said that women shouldn't be forced to wear high heels to work, you know, among other things, because of the fact that it's bad for your feet and, you know, you can end up with lifelong injuries to your feet, you know. But Nadine Dorries kind of like started sort of saying, oh no, you gotta let employers enforce dress codes and force women to wear high heels. But the way that the media spanned that was that they said that the TUC was telling women they couldn't wear high heels to work, when what the TUC was actually doing was saying women shouldn't have to be forced to wear high heels, shouldn't have to wear high heels to work. You know, I know there probably aren't that many jobs where women have to wear high heels to work anymore, but still, you know, I mean, like, no woman should be forced to wear high heels to work because it damages her health. And the irony is, like, I mean, Nadine Dorries just said that, and then she kind of went on about saying, oh, you know, you can't force women to wear hijabs and headscarves, stuff like that, you know. And but actually, given the choice, if I had to be forced, you know, speaking as a woman, speaking as a trans woman, and Nadine Dorries doesn't think trans women are women, she doesn't think I'm a woman, you know. But given the choice, if somebody said, right, if you had to force me to wear an item because I'm female, and I was given the choice of either wearing high heels or a headscarf, I would wear the headscarf, because, you know, a headscarf is not going to leave me with lifelong injuries, you know, with lifelong, like give me like lifelong debilitating conditions, you know, painful conditions on my feet, for example. So yeah, so yeah, and that's kind of like the way society is going at the moment, you know. And Terfs came down to Cardiff Bay, really near to where I worked actually. I mean, obviously I wasn't in on that day because I was still working from home, but they stood outside the Senedd, the Welsh Assembly, Welsh Government, and they kind of had their little sort of hate rally and all that kind of stuff. And there was a tiny kind of counter-protest of trans people there. And they didn't, you know, they were really well behaved. They kind of blew whistles when the Terfs were speaking, but you could still hear what the Terfs were saying. They didn't disrupt the Terfs meeting in any way. You know, they were just there with banners and flags and whistling. And I've actually seen footage today. Graham Linehan's actually posted it onto YouTube of people like Mr. Menno and other people kind of shouting and berating the trans activists. So the trans activists were trans counter-protests, because a lot of them, you know, they weren't all kind of trans activists. They were just trans people and allies who turned up thinking, well, this is awful, you know, that people come here to spread hate. You know, they come to Cardiff because it feels really personal when they come to your own hometown or your own kind of area where you live, because it not only feels like an attack on trans people, it feels like an attack on your friends as well. And so yeah, so they were there, sat with the, you know, standing with the trans flags and not disrupting the Terfs, but the Terfs came over and they started, you know, kind of confronting the trans people. Just, I guess, to try and provoke them, you know, so that they could say, hey, look, oh, violent trans activists, you know, well, yeah, so that's another thing that happened recently. And most people didn't attend the protest anyway, you know, I mean, but every time it happens, every time they come down to our area, these transphobes, it just makes us feel really, really sort of, I would say, maybe unsafe, yeah, kind of a little unsafe. It also makes us feel on edge, and like people are asking everybody if they're all right, you know, and that kind of thing, and it just does feel like a personal attack. And it's so frustrating as well, because you want to get up there and you want to say, actually, you know, that's not what, you know, that what they're saying isn't kind of true. That's just spin on what's actually going on. But yeah, but I do think people are getting wise to these transphobic groups, you know. I mean, I think people are starting to understand more now, because it's getting more, it's like a lot of non-trans people, a lot of cis people are starting to realise that these groups are actually transphobic and they're quite insidious in the way that they behave. So, yeah. So, I can't really think of anything else to say, actually. My tummy's rumbling. I've been quite anxious and depressed today. I haven't really eaten that much. It's probably good for me, really, because I'm overweight. I'm, you know, yeah. But so, yeah. So, how are you people doing? How are you lovely people doing? That sounds horrible, doesn't it, you people? How am I, you know, people out there? You know, I'd really like to know how you're feeling at the moment. Are you feeling kind of anxious and depressed about going to work? Are you feeling going back out to work, I should say, because a lot of us have been working from home. But are you, you know, are you kind of feeling sad about the way that there seems to be a lot of transphobic politicians in positions of power in the UK these days? Yeah, so please do let me know. So, I almost lost my voice then. Excuse me, gonna have a drink. So, yeah. So, I will say cheerio now. And I love you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And, you know, please leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about things and how you feel today. So, bye. Take care all. Love you all. Bye.